guys. Hello everyone. Today I'm doing a review of the Book of the Bells by Donnell Clayton. So as you can see, I've kind of gotten into the spirit of this review. I did my own interpretation of the makeup on the book cover and added a fun little flower, an ode to all of the themes of flowers and how they're used throughout the books. Just my little bit of fun. The Bells follows Camilla Beauregard in the fantasy kingdom of Orleans. And Camilla is a belle, which means she has the magical ability to change and control beauty. And in the kingdom of Orleans, beauty is everything. Camilla arrives at the royal palace, determined to become the favorite belle and serve the royal family, earning a treasured position where she can influence beauty and fashion of the entire kingdom. She's trained her entire life for this purpose, but the future of Orleans may be at stake, and there's more to the story than Camilla knows. So I'm going to talk about what I liked and found positive in this book, and what some of my negatives or critiques of this book would be. So let's start with positives. And I am going to try and keep this fairly spoiler-free. First of all, Orleans is a very unique world. It's kind of a blend of steampunk, fantasy, and a bit of science fiction. Possibly post-apocalyptic of some sort, but we really don't know that yet. I'm just entirely guessing based on the fact that it's called Orleans, but it may be entirely fantasy. Either way, it's a really fun world, and one the author really works to flesh out. And she does this by using almost lavish descriptions, which makes sense in the context of the books. And she goes into great detail about everything from fashion to food to decor, to of course hair and makeup and the rituals that go along with that. The entire royal court is extravagant, and to them this is the most important thing. Beauty is practically a religion in Orleans. I also like that the book included a diverse set of characters. In their world, beauty isn't limited to a single look or ideal. In fact, they think beauty is the best when it is diverse. So you do end up seeing characters of all skin colors, hair colors, size, shapes, and there are some LGBT plus characters. I also like that the book took an overall tone of examining beauty standards and how much pressure we put on ourselves as a society to reach a certain ideal, which I think is only magnified with the use of social media. I see this myself in my own work as a makeup artist, where too many girls and women want to look like a carbon copy of an Instagram picture that's been filtered and blurred, often to the point where it's no longer realistic. And yet, too many people believe this is what they should look like. So the Bells asks us, how far would you go to achieve that? What would you do? And what would that mean for us as a society? And the author does this by taking those very beautiful, elegant, lavish descriptions and juxtaposing them against some kind of almost gruesome depictions of how this might be achieved. And that blend really kept me hooked. The book overall was very readable. My copy was about 450 pages and I flew through it in 2 days. However, on the negative side of things, while it was gripping, I did find that pacing to slow down towards the latter middle half. And at points, I just wanted to find out what happened, but it felt like the story was moving too slowly. And at times, I felt like the author made the main character almost purposefully obtuse about things that were going on around her. Camilla is a smart girl. She's very creative, and because of her training, she should be quick to notice details. But while I understand they had her raised in a sheltered environment that kept her a bit ignorant, it didn't feel realistic that she would be so slow on the uptake about some things. Which similarly, there were moments of fighting and tension, felt a bit contrived. They didn't feel true to the characters that we had met so far, and thus were a little too obviously just made to isolate the main character. I also wasn't the biggest fan of the romantic interest in this book. It felt flat for me, and even from the very first interaction, it felt awkward and too forward. Consequently, things that happened later in the book didn't have a very big emotional impact on me, because I never really felt invested in the romantic relationship to begin with. However, overall, even with these critiques, I really found myself enjoying the book as a whole, and thus I ended up giving it 4 stars on Goodreads. It definitely interested me enough that I want to read the sequel. I'm not sure if it's going to be multiple books or just a duology, but there are additional questions I have about the world that I really want answers to, and a few characters that I'm really interested in seeing what the author does with. I'd also love to see if the more sci-fi aspects of the book are explained, and if we get more to the story about where the Kingdom of Orleans originated. So if you're a fan of series like The Uglies, or really were fascinated by the idea of the capital citizens in the Hunger Games, or even like something similar to the Selection series, but with a bit more substance, I think you'd enjoy checking out The Bells. If you've read this book, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'd also love to hear your thoughts on social media and how that's shaping the beauty standards we have today. If you'd like to stick around and see more videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'd also love to connect with you on Goodreads or Twitter. So, as always, until next time, bye guys!